We're going to be shooting 700. So it is long range. It's not extreme long range, but it is long range to where you need to have everything right and be stable to be consistent. So Outdoorsman's came out with this rear support that hooks onto their tripod, and you can make adjustments. You know, got our bags and normal stuff too. So laying prone and shooting off our bipods with my favorite little portable rear support too, if you're laying prone, is that cross tack bag, which I'll show you in a second. But cross tack, these little guys are sweet. They weigh nothing, and if you're laying prone on a good spot, they're pretty nice. So all right, we're gonna start shooting and yeah, see if we can hit some steel. So there's no wind right now. The target's roughly 700, so 703 yards. And just checking my dope on my Kestrel, making sure that I have that ballistic profile correct, and it's gonna, you know, offer me the right solution. So we're gonna go for it. I'm shooting this 6.5 Creedmoor with a hand load. You can see my recipe right there. 43 grains of H4350, 2.7 overall length. I'm shooting 130 Berger VLDs. So dialing this bad boy up. I got 13.6. The first shot was up high right, which the elevation is fine, not fine, but the elevation is, we can adjust for. I'm gonna make a slight adjustment with my windage here so we can get on.
Impact.
So I'm on there. So let's see if we can put a group together and get on it.
High.
It's high.
Yep, windage is good.
Okay, so wind, good, just over the target. I'm not gonna touch the elevation. I'm just gonna keep holding and do a little group.
Impact.
So that was on. So I think the second shot, I didn't have it snugged up against, and I felt the recoil a little bit. I think that's why it just went up above the target. It's pretty sweet. I mean, a standalone setup in a hunting situation, which is not bulky and not very heavy. I mean, that's, you know, an aluminum tripod, so it's a pretty good setup. We're shooting at 700, which is kind of that, it's long range, and it's about what you would maybe do in certain situations for hunting. I know that we personally have shot elk at that distance and a little farther, but any farther than that in a hunting scenario is really, it's not realistic. And it borderline some ethical issues, you know, just from a energy standpoint at long range, especially with guns like these 6.5 Creedmoor and 6.5 PRC. Certainly they have enough energy to kill past 700 yards, but it's all about conditions when you're hunting at long range. So if the conditions are not right, they kind of determine what is ethical and what is not. Looked like that was just high. So didn't see it. I think it hit a little bit low. I'm gonna no, just off target. At this distance, when your body actually enters the shooting position, there is an inherent shake or wiggle. However, I mean, I would say 500 yards and in is probably a doable scenario. For me, even on my heart isn't even beating. This isn't like you know, a 370-inch elk or a giant mule deer. Like I'm just leaning into it, trying to get stable. I think it's going to take some practice, but to be consistent, I would go a little bit closer if I was shooting at an animal. But like I said, if you just are using a tripod system, this is an awesome addition to it. I mean, I think this is sweet. But I've had clients shoot multiple elk and stuff at like 800 yards with a dual tripod system, and it's definitely a lot more stable, but it's not apples to apples. I mean, you're not carrying around 2 tripods with this setup. So you can put pressure on it, and even I can lean against it, and there's just still micro shake, where this system has slightly, like, there's a lot of play just naturally here. And as further you get out, you know, we're talking probably 3/8 of an inch play, which when you're trying to hold steady on an animal is a lot. This, all the play is just the actual structure tilting and moving. So all right, so just to make sure that I'm not just totally pulling shots, I do want to shoot a couple shots from my dual tripod setup and just see what we can get going here. So I'm gonna get in, get back on target here. That hit. That hit. That hit. So it's just nice being out here and able to do this. And yes, I do have some ammo that I can actually shoot with, so that's also nice. But there's a lot of places in the country that you don't get to just go shoot 700 yards or 800 yards or at your back door. But it's nice. Starting to see my groups. Looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I mean, if you're hitting a target, the target's about a 12 by 12 target, so it's not very big. A little bigger than 1 MOA, but switch it around if you can see it. Sweet. So the last 3 shots were here, here, here. You can see how big the target is with my hand. It's like a 12 by 12 steel square. Yeah, so basically if you get on this on the board, especially with our setups, it's a pretty good shot at 700 yards. So yeah.